At the Quartermains, Drew and Carly have organized a birthday party for Scout. In the kitchen, Drew wants to make the most of every moment with Scout that he can. Carly says he can't do that if he's focused on revenge. Drew says he didn't even mention Nina's name, but she says she could hear him thinking it. Sam, Jake, Danny, and Scout arrive, and Scout is thrilled by all the balloons. Alexis soon arrives with presents, and everyone heads into the living room. Carly and Sam hang behind in the kitchen, and Sam notes Drew seems more relaxed. Carly feels he's slowly moving past what happened in Pentonville. Michael and Willow arrive and are followed by Christina and Blaze. Danny is starstruck when he sees Blaze and even more thrilled that she remembered her name. Danny heads to go look for his jacket, which he again left somewhere. Christina introduces Blaze as her girlfriend, and everyone smiles and is welcoming. Alexis helps Drew pack up in the living room after some of the kids' activities are over and they've headed to the stables. Alexis needs to talk to Drew about a touchy subject, Nina being named publisher of The Invader. She has reservations, but Nina says she was fired from Crimson for personal reasons. Drew admits he fired Nina for turning them into the SEC, and he couldn't trust her judgment anymore. Alexis says that sounds like a press release, so tell him what he really thinks. He thinks Nina is wickless, self-absorbed, and capable of anything, so Alexis should watch her back. Back in the kitchen, Jake checks in with the adults, and he is also star-struck to meet Blaze. Jake is speechless, and Willow suggests he track down Danny and tell them it's time for cake. Everyone giggles at the boys' reaction to Blaze. Sam finds Drew thinking in the living room alone. She asks if he's okay, and he says he is. She needs a favor but wasn't sure she could ask him. He knows he hasn't been sunshine and rainbows lately but is trying to focus on the silver lining in the clouds. Sam explains Danny's been having a tough time lately and she asks if he could talk to him, as Danny trusts him and would confide in him. Drew says he'll be happy to. She appreciates it, and they embrace. Jake heads down to the boathouse to find Danny. He finds him sitting on the ground alone and acting oddly. Danny stands, and Jake smells something sweet-smelling. He quickly finds a vape on the ground where Danny was sitting. Jake is furious and says they'll discuss this later unless he was trying to get caught. Danny asks if he'll rat him out. Jake says he won't snitch, but he's not giving it back to him. The boys fight, and Willow finds them and asks what is going on. They claim they were just messing around. Willow says they are taking a family photo and to come on. Jake puts the vape in his back pocket. Back in the house, Michael gets a moment alone with Carly and informs her about what Danta told him about the link between Olivia Jerome's death and the attempts on Dad. Carly knows as she found out from John Cates. Michael admits he told Joss to bring Dex back to town, which Carly thinks is a bad idea. She says Sonny will see this as going behind his back again. Michael says he's helping their father whether he likes it or not. Christina enters and asks, "What's going on with Dad?" Michael tells Christina he just hasn't heard from Dad in a while. Christina says she was told to summon them for cake and presents. Carly heads out, and Christina asks Michael if Dad is okay. Michael assures her everything is fine. Felicia drops by Maxie's to watch the kids while her daughter gets some work done. Felicia asks why Spinelli isn't available, and Maxie says she sent him packing. Maxie plays her mom, telling her what Spinelli did and how he manipulated her. Felicia tells her that's not what happened and it was her idea that Spinelli move in with her. Maxie already knew, and she needs her mother to respect her boundaries as it was important she fixed her finances on her own. Felicia says she is her mother and couldn't sit back and watch her struggle. Maxie understands as a mother herself and forgives her, but not Spinelli. Felicia asks why she's so much angrier with Spinelli. Maxie states he's not her parent, but Felicia says he's family and would do anything for her. She thinks Maxie would do the same thing if the positions were reversed. Maxie would, and that's the problem, because she fell in love again with him, and they didn't just meddle with her finances, but also her heart. Felicia never meant things to turn out this way. Maxie knows Spinelli wouldn't lie to her out of malice. That isn't her issue. What is bugging her is aside from her and Mac, Spinelli has been the one she can count on the most. Felicia thinks this proves he still is. Maxie says acting on her feelings with Spinelli was a mistake. She says they've been down this road before, and it didn't work out. Plus, they revealed to one another how they felt, and it instantly fell apart. Felicia believes she and Spinelli have always had a connection. and they've always been a little in love with each other. She knows Nathan saw it, Ellie saw it, and Mac is still annoyed by it. She thinks Spinelli sees it, and now Maxie needs to see it. Maxie doesn't know what she'd do if she tried again with Spinelli but lost him for good. Felicia gets that it's a risk. Maxie says the kids would all be devastated too if it didn't work out. Felicia can only tell her that she's a survivor, but Maxie doesn't know how many growth experiences she can take. Felicia says things might not work out for her and Spinelli, or they might, and she has to decide if it's worth the risk. Later, Maxie calls Spinelli and leaves a message telling him to call her. Dad arrives at the hospital and learns from Chase, who was already there, that a man was brought in having been assaulted on the pier. But he's not talking or even giving a name. Dan looks into the room and recognizes Selena's bodyguard. Dad questions the officers on the scene and tells Chase that Lai was being assaulted on the pier by another one of Selena's men, who fled when the cops announced themselves. But they got him. Dan says infighting in Selena's organization means things are about to get more dangerous. Dan reveals to Chase this is also tied to the FBI investigation John Cates is running. Dante and Chase head in to see Lai to question him. Dan says they have his attacker in custody, and know it's another one of Selena's men. Chase says his boss wants him dead, and Dandy says he has days, even hours after he walks out of there. Chase suggests they can get him protection from the DA, but Lai just laughs. Dandy tells him that he can talk or end up in an unmarked grave by morning. Ava returns home as Sonny gets off the phone. He says that she has something to ask him to go for it. Ava notes he hasn't been forthcoming since his talk with Nina. He knows Nina will tell her everything, but she can still ask him. She wants him to know that her friendship with Nina doesn't mean she's taking sides, and she's staying out of it. He calls it a wise decision. Spinelli arrives at Sonny's summoning and Sonny tells him that he can talk in front of Ava. Spinelli says all systems are a go for tonight. Ava asks what happens tonight. Sonny says he's bringing his enemy to their knees. Spinelli explains the plan that Sonny is going to hold a fake bridge-building summit with Selena, and he'll be monitoring everything behind the scenes. Ava assumes this enemy will just send hired guns to do the job. Sonny is counting on it, so they'll grab the gunman and force him to lead them to who is in charge. Sonny tells Spinelli they're done, and he'll keep him posted. Spinelli leaves, and Ava insists she go with Sonny. He appreciates what Ava is doing, but she isn't part of this. Ava disagrees and feels for the plan to work, he'll need her. She says if they want to sell this meeting as a negotiation with Selena, they'll need an arbitrator, and she is a former Jerome family member. Sonny admits she's not wrong. Ava also notes his circle of trust has gotten pretty small, so he doesn't have to do this alone. She can help him. John barges into Anna's office and says he wants Sonny out of his life for good, and she will help him. Anna reminds him who he's talking to, and he apologizes. He says he had a day and took it out on her. She says this is a pattern with him, but she apologizes for questioning his integrity the other day. She thinks he's always been good friends with Robin, so they can get along. He says despite Sonny, he wants them to be able to work together. She wants that too. Anna tells John that Sonny isn't a saint, but he's not a sadist who torments people for sport. John says his conversation with him today suggests otherwise. Anna suggests John has an issue with the man Sonny was, rather than the man he is now. She says Sonny has been a good friend to Robin, just as he was to Stone. John argues a lot of good people do bad things. Anna says she wouldn't hesitate to arrest Sonny as she had evidence that he committed a crime, but he shouldn't be reduced to just a criminal. She has to take into account the good as well as the bad with Sonny. And that will be the only way he'll take Sonny down one day, if that's what he wants. Dante and Chase enter, and Dante has news. He says Sonny and Selena Wu are making moves. Dante explains what happened with Lai, who told them Sonny and Selena ordered him to leak that they were setting up a meeting tonight. Anna says they are trying to smoke this suspect out. Anna and John decide they have to stop this, and they all take off. At a warehouse, Selena is informed by a man that everything is ready for tonight. Sonny arrives with Frank, Gabe, and Ava. Selena wasn't expecting Ava, and this wasn't part of the plan. Sonny says plans change and they can trust Ava. Selena says Sonny has an incentive to trust Ava as she's the mother of his child, but she doesn't. Sonny explains Ava will play mediator to make this all appear legit, and they will smoke their enemy out tonight. On the next General Hospital, Tracy is impressed by Brooklyn and says, "That is a scheme worthy of a Quartermain." Cyrus asks Laura what precipitated this step forward in regard to their relationship. At the hospital, Portia tells Liz they should get this over with, and they head into room. Heather is brought into the hospital, and she screams, "You get away from my grandson." In the warehouse, Sonny tells Selena, "Let's get down to business." On the pier, Dante holds a gun on someone. As they reveal themselves, Dante gasps, "What the hell?"